trade, and other receivables. So trade receivables means claims from clients. Pautang po natin ito sa ating mga customer. Normally, you call this account receivable or notes receivable. Okay? Whereas, the other receivable are non-trade. Ibig sabihin po, hindi po sa customer. This one do not arise from selling our merchandise on account. Right? So, any non-trade that is collectible within 1 year is also part of this trade and other receivable. An example of this is subscriptions receivable. Subscriptions receivable is receivable to shareholder and not of the client. Right? Advances to employees, nangutang yung empleyado. So that is receivable or claims to your employee, which is non-trade, and normally that is collectible within a year. Advances to supplier. Pagka po meron tayong advance payment, we have the right to claim delivery of merchandise. So in other words, when you say receivable, that is not limited to collection of cash in the future, but also delivery of an asset, to be particular, delivery of merchandise when you made advances to your suppliers. Another example is your accrued revenues. These are earned but not yet collected, like interest, accrued dividends, accrued commission. So these are your trade and other receivables. So initially, the recognition is the invoice price. Kung magkano po yung nakalagay sa invoice na pinautang natin sa customer. That will be the initial carrying amount. After that, receivable must be recognized at net realizable value. The net realizable value is your gross receivable minus the allowances, like allowance for doubtful account, allowance for future sales discount, allowance for future sales return, and allowance for future freight. Okay? So normally, ang makikita nyo lang po ito, yung ating allowance for doubtful account. But when you see the others, it should be part in determining the net realizable value. When you say net realizable value, that is the amount you're expecting to collect out of your receivable. Okay, so again, initially, the invoice price is our basis. After that, pag sinabing subsequent, sa balance sheet po yan. For balance sheet presentation, we present the receivable at net realizable value. That is gross receivable less allowances. That will be the amount you're expecting to collect out of your receivable. So sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, normally ito po yung kilala nyo na lagi namang nandiyan dyan. Ano? Allowance for doubtful account. So yung pong allowance natin, we have two methods. The income statement method and the balance sheet approach. Kaya po tinawag na income statement approach. Ang pinagbabasihan, an element of income statement, which is sales. Normally po, percent of sales. Whereas ito naman po, balance sheet approach, because the basis is an element of balance sheet to be particular account receivable. It may be percent of account receivable or aging of account receivable. Now, what's the difference between these two approach? Pag income statement, you will be getting the doubtful account expense. So when your basis is percent of sales, you get the doubtful account expense. Whereas, when you use the balance sheet approach, whatever is the result of percent of AR, or if you're using aging of account receivable, whatever is the result becomes your ending allowance. So that's the big difference between the income statement approach and balance sheet approach. Okay? Another topic is your notes receivable. Notes receivable may be short-term or long-term. Okay? So, meron po tayong pautang, evidenced by a promissory note. Sometimes, sa actual po, nag-i-issue ng check yan. Okay? So, the notes may be interest-bearing or non-interest-bearing. Pagka po short-term, meaning the term is 1 year or less, whether interest-bearing or non-interest bearing. Upon receipt of the said notes, it should be recognized at face amount. After that, subsequent presentation in your balance sheet is also the face amount. Okay? As the interest portion is immaterial. Now, kapag ka naman yung term lampas ng isang taon, you call that long term. Long term could also be interest bearing or non-interest bearing. Pag interest bearing, and stated rate is the same as effective rate. We present this also at face amount. Sa balance sheet, face amount din. You just have to classify whether that is current or non-current. Whereas, when the notes is long-term, interest-bearing, or the stated rate is sufficiently lower than the effective rate, that's the time that you will be using the present valuation. What is present value? That is the present value of your future principal and interest collection. Paano kung non-interest? The present value of future principal collection. Ganun lang po yun. Ano? After that, sa balance sheet, we will present at amortized cost. You also use present valuation when the note is long-term, non-interest bearing. So again, the present value is present value of principal and interest collection in the future. Afterwards, you will be using amortized cost. Okay? Also, part of receivable is the loans receivable. Yung pong loans receivable natin is synonymous to notes receivable. Kung ang bangko po ay nagpapautang at tawag po nila doon sa ating pautang is loans receivable. Kaya po notes synonymous sa notes payable, merong mga documentation po yan that you need to sign. Parang mga promissory notes. Ano? So initially, the loans receivable shall be recognized at present value. Normally po kasi long-term yan, ano? Saka yung effective rate is different than stated rate. Okay? Or also you call that the initial cash outflow. Kung magkano po yung lumabas na pera, that represents the value of the loans. After that, since you use present valuation, amortized cost naman po tayo. There are cases wherein we need working capital. And to produce working capital, we use our receivable. Ang tawag po doon is receivable financing. Gagamitin natin yung ating receivable para tayo ay magkaroon ng kapital. An example of that is pledging and assignment. Ano po ba yung pledging or assignment? Mangungutang tayo sa bangko. Gagamitin natin collateral yung ating receivable. Okay? We also have discounting. Ano naman po yung discounting? Tumanggap ka ng post-dated check, nangailangan ka ng pera, diniscount mo sa bangko or pinalitan ni bangko. Okay? It could be with recourse or without recourse. Pag sinabing with recourse, in case of non-payment by the maker, we are responsible. Pagka naman without recourse, we are actually selling the notes. In other words, pagka sale agreement, tatanggalin na po natin yung asset, hindi na po atin yon. And of course, kapag ka-sale, we recognize gain or loss on the sale of our receivable. So with factoring, kapag ka po silent yan, is a sale transaction. That is without recourse. Okay? So kung without recourse, in case of non-collection, we are not responsible. Kung with recourse po, we retain the risk and rewards of ownership. So we just consider this as a loan agreement. We continue to recognize the asset and liability related to the loans if that is the case. Okay? Simulan natin kay Kabanatuan. Kabanatuan, can you please call on someone to read the problem? Miss Kabanatuan, I call on somebody already from Kabanatuan.
Si ano po, Mark Corpus po.
Yes, please.
Sir, okay na po, sir.
Yeah, medyo nag-e-echo lang yung isang gamit kong gadget, patayin mo yung volume. para hindi mag-conflict. Dalawa ginagamit mo eh.
Sir, ayan, okay na po, sir.
Yeah, klaro.
Angel reported the receivables account with a debit balance of 2 million. The allowance for doubtful accounts had a credit balance of 60,000 on the same day. Subsidiary details reveal the following: trade accounts receivable for 800,000, trade notes receivable for 200,000, advance payments for purchase of merchandise 150,000, cash advance to subsidiary 300,000, claim from insurance company 30,000, subscription receivables due in 60 days for 150,000, and accrued interest receivables for 90,000. Sir, okay na po, sir.
Yes, so we are asked to determine the amount to be presented as trade and other receivables. So ito po, yung diniscuss ko kanina, ano? Pag sinabing trade, utang ng customer. It could be account receivable or notes receivable. Yung other receivable naman are non-trade, collectible within a year. Like subscriptions receivable, advances to employees, advances to suppliers, and accrued revenues. Okay? So we are asked to determine the trade and other receivable. So we're given 2 million as receivable per ledger. And there is an allowance of 60. Now, the details of this 2 million consist of this. Now, let's check whether that will qualify under trade and other receivable. Trade account receivable, that is trade receivable, or the so-called account receivable. The next item is trade notes receivable, another claims from customer in the form of notes receivable. That is part of trade and other receivable. Advances for purchase of merchandise. We made advance payment to suppliers. That is other receivable, which is non-trade. And that is, we have right to claim delivery within a year. So that qualifies under other receivable. Advances to subsidiary. Pagka po tayo ay merong pautang sa subsidiary at walang nakalagay na term, normally payable po when able. Ibig sabihin po, long term po yan. Kung kailan lang sila magkaroon ng pera. Kasi atin din naman yan eh. Remember the parent and subsidiary relationship? So tayo rin po ang may-ari yan. So this one must be classified as non-current receivable. Claims from insurance. Pagka po nasunugan kayo at nag-claim kayo sa insurance, it is collectible within 3 months or sometimes 6 months kung merong problema sa mga paperworks. So in other words, pag sinabi po natin claims from insurance, that is other receivable. Non-trade po, collectible within a year. So pasok po yan. Subscriptions receivable, another non-trade, collectible within 1 year. Accrued interest. Accrued interest is other receivable, non-trade, collectible within a year. So in other words, ano po lahat ng nag-qualify? Pagka po sinabing presentation, ibig po sabihin yan ay subsequent presentation in your balance sheet. So we present the receivable at net realizable value, meaning net of all allowances. Okay? So, ano po yung mga gross receivable? Trade, notes, advances to receivable, claims from insurance, subscriptions, and accrued. Those are by trade and other receivable. Less the allowances. Ito po yung allowance natin. 60,000. No? So, in other words, pagkano po yung ating trade and other receivable? We have account receivable of 800,000. And there is advances to supplier, other receivable po ito, 150. Then, you have, ano ba to? Claims from insurance company, 30,000. Subscriptions receivable, 150. Accrued interest of 90,000. Yung pong allowance of 60 will be a reduction to our receivable to get the net realizable value. So again, pagka po ang tanong, balance sheet presentation, ibig sabihin, subsequent presentation, it should be recognized at net realizable value, which is the amount we expect to collect of our receivable. Okay? So in other words, the net realizable value must be 1,360. All right? Can we have the next, please? Kabalutuan, continue.
Emmanuel Santiago po.
Emmanuel?
The audit of Angel Corporation for the year ended December 31, 2022 revealed the accounts receivable account consists of the following. Trade accounts receivable current 3,440,000, cash due trade accounts 640,000, uncollectible accounts to be written off 128,000, credit balances in customer accounts negative 80,000, notes receivable is honored 240,000, consignment shipment at cost. The consignee sold goods costing 96,000 for 160,000. The 10% commission was charged by the consignee and remitted the balance to Angel. The cash was received in January 2023, 320,000. Total 4,688,000. The balance of allowance for doubtful accounts before audit adjustment is a credit of 80,000. It is estimated that an allowance should be maintained to equal 5% of trade receivables, net of amount due from the consignee who is bonded. The company has not provided yet for the bonded expense.
So we are asked to determine the trade receivable, allowance, and the doubtful account expense. So ano po yung trade? Pagka-trade, that is receivable from clients. It could be account receivable or notes receivable. Anything who acquire our inventory on account is your clients or customer. Normally po, yung mga external customer, Pero minsan po, pati po yung mga empleyado, nangungutang ng merchandise, that is also a client. Okay? So, para pong naka-aging, nakalagay dito, trade, account receivable, current. So, pasok po sa trade receivable. Past due account, meaning account receivable that is already past due, 640,000. Uncollectible accounts to be written off. Pagka ira-write off po, tatanggalin na natin yan. Bali, wala na po yan. Hindi na natin isasama yan. It should be written off. Credit balance in customer's account. Ano po ba yon? Customer is AR. AR is an asset. It must have a debit balance. Pag credit balance, merong overpayment yan. Paano nangyari yon? Bumili siya on cash basis. Tapos na-found out niya na defective, sinoli niya sa atin. Sabi natin, sige po, i-credit na lang namin sa next delivery. In other words, the credit balance in customer's account must be recognized as a liability, as we have obligation to refund the overpayment or to make delivery related to the overpayment. So this is not a receivable, but rather a current liability. Notes receivable dishonored. Tumanggap tayo ng notes sa clients. Siguro yung pong checking tinanggap natin defective or walang pondo, kaya po na dishonored. So what happened? The notes receivable becomes account receivable. Okay, so ganun po. Pagka na-dishonor yung notes, it will be restored to account receivable. Consignment shipment. So, sinip natin yung ating merchandise on consignment basis. Ano po ba yung consignment? Paki-display mo itong aking inventaryo sa tindahan mo. Pagka nabili, bayaran mo ko. That is consignment. So in other words, pagka po consignment, the title to the inventory is retained by the seller who is the consignor. We will only recognize the receivable upon sale. Pagka po naibenta niya, doon lang po tayo magre-recognize ng receivable. Parang nakabenta. Consignee sold goods for 160. But the consignee is entitled to commission of 10%. So in other words, consignee owes us 90% of 160. That is net of commission of 10%. That is also a trade receivable. So in other words, among the trade, you have account receivable, current and past due, notes receivable dishonored, and receivable to consignee. So those are your trade receivables. Okay? So we have ito po, 3,440. %90 of 160. Magkano po ito? Calculator, everybody? How much is 90% of 160? Magkano po? Paki-compute po. Use your calculator, please.
144,000 po, sir.
Magkano?
144,000 po.
144. Okay. Now, base po dun sa ating the next question is allowance and doubtful account expense. No? So, base po dun sa ating data, it is estimated that allowance should be maintained equal to 5% of trade receivable. So, bale ito po ang pinagbasihan natin, account receivable, percent of AR. Pagka po ang binasihan natin is balance sheet approach of AR, whether that is percent or aging, whatever is the result of this, that would be the ending allowance. Okay? We are also asked for the doubtful account expense. Okay? So, ang sabi sa atin, yung pong ating basihan as a required allowance must be 5% of trade receivable net of amount due from the consignee because the consignee is banded anyway. In other words, wala siyang chance na hindi makabayad kasi may band siya. Pag hindi nagbayad, kukunin natin o ipuporpit natin yung band. So in other words, ito po yung ating basihan. The adjusted trade receivable is 4,464. Tanggalin na raw natin ito. Yung receivable from consignee of magkano po? Magkano? Magkano raw? Tama ba ganito?
Sir, nawala po yung screen.
Nawala. Nawala ako?
Yes po.
Bakit ba ganun ang internet? Kaputol-putol. You see this now?
Yes po.
Okay, sige. Ano po? Paki-compute daw. 5% of 4,320,000. Magkano po yung required allowance?
216.
216 is the required ending allowance. Now, remember the allowance? Allowance is a contra asset account. Ito po yan. The allowance is affected by the following. Kung meron pong recovery of account, with debit account receivable and credit allowance. So allowance will be credited there. Then debit cash and AR. To record provision for doubtful account expense, you debit doubtful account expense credit allowance. So the doubtful account will be credited to your allowance. Kapag ka po yung account hindi masingil, lagi mo siya sinisingil, ayaw kang bayaran, we need to write off the account. And to write off, you debit allowance, credit AR. So in other words, allowance will only be affected by recovery, doubtful account expense, and the direct write-off. Siyempre po yung balances. Normal balance for that, since this is a contra asset account, must be on the credit side. Okay? So tingnan po natin yung ating allowance. To start with, there is an opening balance to your allowance of 80,000. Ayan. Recovery. Meron tayong kliyente, ayaw magbayad, ni-write off natin. Bigla siyang tumama ng loto, binayaran tayo. That is recovery. Okay? So, sa problem po natin, wala naman tumama ng loto, no? Wala po tayong recovery. But there is an account that needs to be written off in the amount of 128. So, dito po, write-off is be debited to your allowance for doubtful account. Tapos, sa first problem natin, we determine that the required ending allowance must be 216. 216. Ayan. Credit minus the debit of 128, that will give you the account expense. Magwo-work back tayo. Pagka nag-work back po tayo, opposite yung operation. Kung deduction ito, i-add back natin. 216, you add back 128. Magkano po yung dapat na total credit? Total credit must be, is that 344? Tama po ba? 344. Total credit consists of the beginning, recovery, and doubtful account. So ito lang po yung nawawala, the doubtful account expense. So again, work back tayo. 344 minus 80, that must be the doubtful account expense. Can you please compute? 344 minus 80?
264 po.
264 is your doubtful account expense. Okay? So, ayun po. No? So, nakita niyo po, nag-ano lang po tayo. First question, we're done with this. The answer is 3,440. The allowance is the required allowance of 216. Doubtful account expense on the basis of our reconstruction is 264. Okay? So, ano po yung nakita niyo po dito? Ito po ang ginamit in setting the allowance. If you use your receivable as basis, whatever is the percent on receivable or aging becomes the required ending allowance. Okay? First question, trade receivable, that is receivable from selling our merchandise. So these are our trade receivable. And the required allowance, based on the problem, is 5% of our receivable, net of receivable from consignee. So this must be the ending allowance. Pagdating po nung doubtful account expense, nag-work back lang tayo. Oo. So bali, ano po yung nangyari? Sa workback natin, dito tayo nagsimula. The required ending allowance is 216. Tapos in-add back po natin ito, which represents the debit side, accounts written off. So we add back 128. Then we just deduct this one minus 80. So that gives you the doubtful account expense of 264,000. Okay? So ganun po yung nangyari kung bakit po tayo nag-arrive sa ganitong schedule. No? We just work back using our ledger. Okay? So let's proceed to the next one. Pampanga. Pampanga, please.
Milex Jensa po.
Les, yes.
Badet Enterprise provided the following data relating to accounts receivable for 2022. Accounts receivable January 1, 850,000. Credit sales, 2,500,000. Sales return, 80,000. Accounts written off, 60,000. Collections from customer, 60,000. 2,125,000. Allowance for sales return, 50,000. Estimated uncollectible accounts at December 31 per aging, 110,000. What amount should Badet report as net realizable value of accounts receivable on December 31, 2022?
Okay, again, what is the net realizable value? The net realizable value is the amount we're expecting to collect out of our receivable. Okay? So that means gross receivable minus the allowances. So dun sa problem natin, ito po yung visible, the allowance for doubtful account. Anong sabi natin? Pagka ang pinagbasihan, AR, whether percent of AR or age of account receivable, that is the required allowance. There is another allowance. Allowance for sales return. That should also be a reduction to our gross receivable. So yung gross receivable natin, ito po yung data natin. Opening balance is 850. Okay. So let's compute for the receivable first. So the opening balance to your receivable is 850. Of course, normal balance for receivable is debit. Credit sales. To record the credit sales, you debit account receivable credit sales. So it will be debited to AR. The amount is 2,500,000. Oops. Sales return, 80. To record the return from clients, we debit sales return and allowances and credit account receivable. So it will be credited to your AR. The return is for 80,000. Accounts written off. To write off an account, you debit allowance and credit account receivable. So the write-off will be credited to your AR. So we wrote off 60,000. And there is collection from clients. So sa collection, you debit cash and credit account receivable. So collection will be credited to AR, and that is 2,125,000. Minus 2265. Less the allowances. Among the allowance, we have allowance for doubtful account per aging of receivable, that is 110,000. So this is 110. Allowance for return or future return is 50. So So yung total allowances natin is 160. 110 plus 50, ano? Gross receivable is 1,085,000. 1,085,000 minus the allowances. That will give you the net real 925. Okay? So that is problem number 3. We are asked for the amount to be presented in the balance sheet as net realizable value of your account receivable. Next problem, please. Pampanga, continue.
Number 4, the financial statement of Bimbo International reported the following accounts. Accounts receivable January 1, 2022 is 1,200,000. The allowance for uncollected accounts January 1, 2022, 60,000. 2022 sales 10 million. Collection 8,720,000. The cash collected from customer included a 20,000 recovery from customer whose account was written off in prior year. On November 15, a customer settled his overdue account by issuing a 15% 4-month note for 400,000 during 2022. Account of 100,000 were written off as worthless. Analysis of the accounts receivable at December 31, 2022 revealed that 600,000 were considered past due. Management estimated of probable loss on past due account is 20%, on current account at 5%.
Okay, so we are asked to determine the allowance for doubtful account. On the basis of this data, parang ang pinagbasihan po is account receivable. Anong sabi natin? Whatever is the percent on that receivable becomes the required ending allowance. So parang in-split into past due and current. Ano? Past due account, the required allowance is 20% of that. Whereas on current account, it's 5%. Okay? So we are asked to determine the adjusted allowance that will be based on this. Uncollectible account expense, account receivable, unahin po natin ito. Kasi lahat po dito, pagbabasihan natin ito di ba? So account receivable at the beginning is this, 1,200,000. Okay? So reconstruct po na natin yung AR. So initially, there is an account receivable of 1,200,000. There is also an allowance for doubtful account of 60. Sales for the current period is 10 million. So you debit account receivable and credit sales for that. 10 million. Of account is 8,720. Debit cash, credit AR for the collection of 8,720. Cash collected included ay 20,000 recovery. Pag merong recovery, ang ginagawa natin, we reinstate the receivable. Debit AR for the recovery of 20,000 and credit allowance for the recovery of 20. Then we will record the collection, debit cash, credit AR. Actually, kasama na raw dito. Collection includes the recovery. So kasama na po dito, hindi na natin gagawin uli itong ating entrada to record the collection of recovered account. On November 15, customer settled this overdue account by issuing 15% 4 months notes for 400,000. Yung AR, pinalitan ng notes. So you debit notes receivable and credit accounts receivable. So the replacement of account must be recognized here, 400. During 2022, 100 were written off as worthless. So to write off, you debit allowance and credit AR. So debit allowance to write off 100 and credit account receivable 100. Ayan. So ito po yung entrada. Debit to allowance and credit account receivable. Tinanggal. Okay. So parang everything taken. So let's see. My receivable here must be 11,220 minus 9,220. Receive into current and past due. Past due is 600, whose probable non-collection is 20%. The rest are current. So of the 2 million of account receivable, two, 6, 12, 120 ba yan? 120. And 5% on the current. 1,4 by 5. 14,5. 70 ba to? Compute. Is this 70? 14 times 5.
Yes, sir.
70,000. Ayan. Receivable. Whatever is the percent on your AR represents the required allowance. So required allowance must be 190,000. Okay? So required allowance meaning that should be the ending allowance, 190. Okay? Yung total debit ko is 100. The other question is asking for the doubtful account expense. So yung total credit hindi po kompleto kaya magwo-workback tayo. To workback, simula tayo dito. Ending allowance minus the debit which is the accounts written off. Total credit must be 290. 290 minus 60 minus 20, that must be the doubtful account expense. Can you please compute?
210 po.
210 is your doubtful account expense. Okay? Yung AR, we determine the AR to be 2 million. Net realizable value, that is gross receivable minus the allowance. The gross receivable based on our computation is 2 million. Ito po, and this is your allowance, 190. So gross receivable of 2 million less the allowance of 190, the amount we're expecting to collect out of our receivable or the net. So this is the net realizable value for our receivable. Okay, now, kayo naman, can you try number 22? '23 and 24. Ayan. So we're looking for pagka-reporting net realizable. Ito naman, ang tanong lang, gross receivable. Okay, sige, compute muna kayo. I'll give you 3 minutes to answer 23 and 24. Okay, magkano po ang sagot natin doon sa number 23? Anybody? How much will you report as receivable?
Sir, try lang po.
Yes.
Letter D po, 7,025,000.
7,025,000. Check natin. Ano? So for number 23, ito po yung ating data. Ano? Account receivable beginning, that is 3 million. There is credit sales of 6. Sales return, so we debit sales return and credit AR for 500. Accounts written off 200. Debit allowance, credit AR 200. Pagka-reporting ang realizable value. Gross receivable minus allowance for doubtful account, allowance for future return, for future discount, and future freight. There is allowance for future sales return here of 75,000. Po, 75. Per aging, that is the required ending allowance. 200,000. Total allowances natin is 275. So 7 million, the gross receivable minus allowance. Very good. Okay. Now, this time, ito naman ang tinatanong. Only the account receivable. We are not asked for the net realizable value. Account receivable naman ang hinahanap natin dito. Sige nga, compute nyo po. Anybody? How much is the balance to your account receivable? Okay, check po natin. So we're given the receivable balance at the beginning. That is 3 million. There is credit sales of 6 million. Oops, sorry. Dito pala tayo. So receivable beginning, 5 million. Receivable collected is also 5 million. So credited to AR. Affects our receivable. So yung pong cash sales natin is debit cash credit sales. Ano? Tapos we're given data about the inventory beginning and ending as well as acquisition. This is something to do with the cost of goods sold. As well as the gross profit. So ang alam po natin, the gross profit is sales minus the cost of sales. There is gross profit there of 2 million. Yung cost of goods sold naman, that is beginning inventory. The beginning inventory is 3 million. Minus cost of goods sold of 5,500,000. Hindi natin alam, kaya mag-work back tayo. 2 million plus 5,500,000. This must be 7,500,000. Okay? Ayan. Sales could be cash sales or sales on account. If the total sales is 7,500,000, credit sales will be debited to AR. 6,500,000. 5 billion. The account receivable balance must be 6,500,000. Okay? So, yun po, yung ating computation of the account receivable. Okay? Now, let's go back to notes receivable naman tayo. Number 5. Can I hear from Antipolo? Antipolo,
Sir,
please.
ako po muna magbabasa, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Iya.
Hacienda Santibáñez sold a tract of land with a carrying amount of 3 million to Hacienda Portalejo on July 1, 2021. 1,200,000 was collected on the date of sale, and the balance of 2,800,000 is collectible in 4 annual installments, 902,500, consisting of principal and 11% interest on the unpaid balance. The first annual installment is due on July 1, 2022.
Okay. So, sa notes receivable, ang problema natin, una yung classification. Ano ba siya? Short term or long term? Pag sinabing short term, yung term niya 1 year or less. Okay? Pag long term, more than 1 year. So, short term could be interest bearing or non-interest bearing. Whether interest bearing or non-interest bearing, we just present them at face amount. Sa balance sheet, face amount pa rin as the interest is immaterial. Pagka naman long term, more than a year yung term, and interest bearing, merong stated rate. Pag walang binigay na effective, we assume that the stated rate is the same as the effective rate. We just present them at face amount. Sa balance sheet, ganun pa rin. Face amount, split mo lang yung current portion and non-current portion. Whereas when it's long term, and the stated rate is sufficiently lower than the effective rate, we use present valuation. Again, present value represents the present value of principal and interest collection in the future. Afterwards, the balance sheet amortize costs. Pagka long-term, non-interest bearing, you do the same. Present value. Amortize costs after that. So, this one is long-term. Bakit po long-term? Nagsimula po ito July 1. Yun daw pong balanse, babayaran ng 4 annual, 4 na taon. Kaya po long-term, ano? So, ano ba to? Interest bearing or non-interest bearing? Parang interest bearing ito. So, ginawa na po tayo ng annual amortization na 902,500. And that payment includes the principal and interest already of 11%. So, bali lang dito tayo. Long-term, interest bearing, where stated rate is the same as effective rate. Walang binigay na effective rate, so we will assume pareho po sila. Initial presentation pays amount. After that, pays amount pa rin. Pays amount is this. The face of the note is 2,800,000. Okay? So, tingnan po natin. Sa balance sheet, determine the current portion and non-current portion. Kapag ka po yung FS date natin, 2022, anything collectible next year are current receivable, whether that is January or December. Beyond 1 year, non-current na po yun. So ito po yung tinatanong dito. Current and non-current portion of your receivable. Okay, so check po natin. Initial presentation, face amount. After that, face amount ulit tayo. So initially, the face amount is 2,800. Ito po. Now, every year, starting next July 1, 2022, pabayad po tayo ng 902,500. And that consists of principal and interest payment already. So dito, bayad tayo ng 902,500. Of the payment, going to interest is 11% of 28. Can you please compute? 11% of 28 is how much? Calculator, everybody. Magkano po?
308,000.
300?
8 po.
308. Okay. 308 goes to interest. So of the payment of 902,500, 308 goes to interest. The rest goes to the principal. Dahil hulugan po, the payment to principal will be a reduction to carrying amount. 28 minus this, that would be 2205,500. Tapos, another 902 every July. Going to interest is 11% of 2205,500. Can you please compute?
$242,605 po.
242,
605.
305,
6 po.
605. Ayan. So 242,605. Of the 902, 242 goes to interest, the rest goes to the principal. And again, ito po yung babawas natin. Question number 1. As of December 31st, how much will you present as current receivable? As of December 31st, isang bayad pa lang ang nagaganap. Ito po yung balanse ko. This is our total receivable. Collectible to principal next year is your current receivable. Beyond 1 year, non-current. So sa balance sheet, pag gumawa ka, ito ilalagay mo sa current asset. Ito nasa non-current asset. Okay? Anything collectible next year are current. Beyond that, that will be non-current. Okay? Since collectible related to principal of the 2205,500, collectible next year is 2659. That will be the current portion. Beyond that, that is 1545. If you add the two, that will be 2205,500. Okay? So the current portion must be 659,895. Whereas the non-current portion is 1545,605. How much is the interest income for 2022? 2022 runs from January to December. So makikita natin yung interest natin dito, but this one covers July 1, 21 to 22. So kukunin lang natin yung para sa January to June, which is half of this. Half of this is 154 ba yan?
Yes po.
154. Whereas, for July to December, that would be half of this, as this one runs from 2022 of July up to July of 2023. So kalahati nito relates to July until December of 2022. So how much is half of this? 121, 303 ba to? Rounded na tayo, no? 101, 121, 303. So in other words, the total 303. Okay? So that is notes receivable, long-term, interest-bearing. Initial presentation, face amount. Face amount is the initial presentation. After that, face amount pa rin. Face amount, classify mo lang kung current and non-current. And this is the current portion and the non-current portion. Collectible next year are current. Beyond that, that will be the non-current portion. Okay? Next, please. Antipolo, continue.
Sir Mark C. Rivan po.
Yes, please.
On December 31, 2022, Green Company finished consultation services and accepted in exchange a promissory note with a face value of 600,000 pesos, a due date of December 31, 2025, and a stated rate of 5%, with interest receivable at the end of each year. The fair value of the services is not readily determinable, and the note is not readily marketable. Under the circumstances, the note is considered to have an appropriate imputed rate of interest of 10%. The following interest factors are provided. Interest rate, table factors for 3 periods, 5% with a future value of 1.15763, present value of 1.86384, future value of ordinary annuity of 3.15 to 50% value of ordinary annuity of 2.72325. For 10%, future value of 1.33100. Present value of 1.75132, future value of ordinary annuity of 3.3100. Present value of ordinary annuity of 2.4868.
Okay. So first question is asking for the present value of the note. So una, pag-usapan muna natin anong classic notes ito. This is long term. Tinanggap noong 2022, babayaran tayo 2025. More than 1 year. Kaya long term. Interest bearing because there is a stated rate of interest. For the stated rate is sufficiently lower than the market rate of interest. Ibig po sabihin ng effective rate, yan po yung market rate. Pag ikaw ay mangungutang sa bangko, ganyan po yung rate of interest. Okay? So, effective rate, yield, market rate, isa lang po yun. So, that is long-term, interest-bearing, where stated rate is sufficiently lower than the effective rate. So, nandito tayo. Long-term, stated rate sufficiently lower than the effective rate. Initial presentation is present value. Ayan po, kaya tinatanong tayo sa present value ng note. Ano yung present value? Present value of future collection related to principal and interest. Ano bang nakita natin? Yun daw pong face amount or principal amount of the notes is collectible December 31st, 2025. So that means after 3 years. Whereas yung interest naman, babayad daw tayo ng 5% interest at the end of each year. Taon-taon. For 3 years. 5%. So kunin natin yung present value. Ano nga yung present value? Present value of principal and interest collection. Principal amount is this. The interest collection is 5% of this one. So 5% of 600, 5,630 is 30,000. So kunin natin yung present value nun. Kapag ka ang bayad magaganap ng isang beses lang, you will use present value of 1 at effective rate of 10%. Present value of 1 for 3 periods is 0.75132. Whereas yung interest taon-taon, pag may binabayaran ka taon-taon, pare-parehong amount, you will use the ordinary annuity. So you will be using this one. Again, using the market rate of interest. So in other words, the present value of the notes is the present value of principal and interest collection in the future. So yung principal po, 600, present value of 1 is this. Again, bakit present value of 1 ang ginamit? Pagka ang koleksyon isang beses lang magaganap, ito po, yung principal, isang beses lang po magaganap ang bayaran, and that will happen in the future, which is December 31st, 2025. So we use the present value of 1 using effective rate. So dito tayo, present value of 1 is this. Yung interest taon-taon babayaran, 5% of this, that would be 30,000. Pagka taon-taon nagbabayad ka ng same amount, you will use ordinary annuity. So we use this one. Pa-compute nga po. 600 by 0.75132. Pagkano po siya?
450,792 po.
450,
792
790,
po.
92,
792.
3,
2.
2. Okay. What about the present value of interest collection? 30 by 2.48685.
74,605.5.
Round off na tayo. 606 ba?
605.5. 606 po. Opo.
606. 74,606. Tama? Okay. So in other words, this is the present value. Initial presentation is the present value. Okay. The difference between the face amount and present value is discount or premium. When face amount is greater than the present value, $398. Therefore, entrada ito. Ano? Ano pong ating entrada? Debit notes receivable at face amount, 600,000. There is discount of 74,602. The discount on notes receivable, 74,602. Long-term interest-bearing or stated rate is sufficiently lower than the effective rate, initially present value. After that, amortized cost. Ito naman po yung amortized cost. The difference between stated rate and effective rate represents the amortized cost. Initial presentation, 525,398. Taon-taon i-amortize natin. The amortization is the difference between these two. So stated face amount, ito po, multiplied by the stated rate. Na-compute na natin kanina yan. 600 by 5%, that is 30,000. At effective rate naman, that would be carrying amount by the effective rate. The effective rate is the market rate of interest. Carrying amount is this. 10% of that would be 52, 5, ano yan? 540 ba yan? Rounded? 52, 540. Tama ba? Round up?
Yes po, sir.
Yes. So yung difference ng dalawa is your amortization. Dahil po babayaran ito after 3 years, we amortize to bring the carrying amount to face amount on maturity. So the amortization of discount will be an addition as this one is lower than the face. So 5,398 plus the amortization, this is your amortized cost. Sa susunod na taon, ganun ulit. This is 30,000 face amount by the stated rate. Dito naman, 10% of this. So that should be 54,794. So 54,794. Again, the difference between the stated and effective rate is your amortization. And the amortization is added to carrying amount. And finally, dahil 3 taon lang naman, no? Tingnan lang natin. 30,000, 10% of this is the interest. So that should be 57,273. 57,273. So, the difference will be your amortization. Anong sabi natin? We amortize to bring the carrying amount to face amount on maturity. Bakit sobra? Oo, kasi gumamit ka ng present valuation. Sigurado hindi po perfect yan pagka meron nito. So, ang gagawin mo, sa last period, adjust mo na lang ito para mag-balance ito na 600,000. Bawasan natin ng 5 pesos, which is also immaterial, di ba? 6,8. Ilang entrada dito. By December 31st, 2023, upon receipt of interest, you debit cash 30,000 and credit interest income 30,000. And we will amortize the discount. Yung discount naka-credit kanina, reduction to notes. Pag ina-amortize, ide-debit mo. Debit 22,540 and credit interest income 22,540. So ano pong nakita natin? The amortization of discount increases interest income. So if you are asked for the interest income, that would be 30 plus 22,540, which is carrying amount by effective rate, a total of 52,540. Okay? So yun po yung ating notes, wherein the note is long-term interest-bearing stated rate is sufficiently lower than the effective rate. Stated rate is 5%, effective rate is 10%. Kaya nag-present value tayo. Initial, upon receipt, initial presentation is present value. Ano nga po uli ito? Present value of principal and interest collection in the future. Principal to be collected after 3 years is 600. Kaya present value of 1 ang ginamit natin. Kailan si present value of 1? Pag isang beses lang magaganap ang bayaran. Okay? Isang beses lang for this amount. Yung interest, taon-taon babayad tayo. Kaya annuity yung ginamit natin. Present value of future collection for principal and interest must be this one. That will be the initial value for our services. And for our entry, debit notes receivable, the difference between the face and present value represents discount on notes receivable. And the present value represents the value of our services. After that, we present the notes at amortized cost. So yung amortized cost natin is this one. The difference between face, stated rate, and effective rate is your amortization. The amortization of discount will be an addition to carrying amount. As what we intend to do is to bring the carrying amount to face amount on maturity date, which is after 3 years. Okay? And of course, for the interest income, base sa entrada natin, that is carrying amount by the effective rate. That will be the interest income. Okay? So, first question, present value, 525,398. Second question, the discount is 74,602. Amount of amortization of discount. Amount of amortization for 2024. 2024, the amortization is this. 24,794. Interest income for 2024. So based on our entry, interest income is carrying amount by effective rate. which is this one. 54,794. Diba? That's the interest income. Okay? So ano po yung naging lesson natin dito? Yung lesson, unang-una, dapat kilala mo yung iyong notes. At alam mo kung anong gagamitin for the initial presentation and subsequent presentation. Okay? Sige po. Let's proceed to the next one. Pampanga.
Janice Reyes po.
Yes, please.
On January 2, 2022, Playpo Manufacturing sold equipment with a carrying amount of 480,000 in exchange for a 600,000 non-interest-bearing note due January 2, 2025. There was no established exchange price for the equipment. The prevailing rate for interest for note of this type at January 2, 2022 was 10%.
Okay. So we are asked for the interest income, gain or loss on sale, and the carrying amount of the notes receivable to be presented in the balance sheet or statement of financial position. So anong klase? Long-term, non-interest bearing. Long-term, kasi po ito, nagsimula ng 2022, tapos, ang mangyayari po, makakakolekta tayo kailan? Eto, 2025. After 3 years, saka tayo babayaran ng 600,000. So pagka long term, non-interest bearing, initial presentation is present value. Kailan po uli ginagamit si present value? Pag long term, stated interest bearing, stated rate is lower than the effective rate. And number 2, long term, non-interest bearing, which is our case here. Right? So initial presentation for these notes must be the present value. How do we get the present value? That is present value of principal and interest collection. Wala kang interest non-interest O the principal lang, present value of principal collection. Okay? Since the principal will be collected after 3 years or lump sum, we will use present value of 1. So principal amount or the face amount of the note by present value factor using effective rate or market rate of interest of 10%. So, magkano po ito? Makikiano nga po? Ayan. So, yung ating valuation po, initial present value. After that, amortized cost. Okay? So, sa initial presentation, present value represents the present value of principal and interest collection. Base sa problem natin, yun lang pong principal or face amount ang makolekta natin. Which is 600,000. Ayan. Now, dahil yung koleksyon magaganap ng isang beses lang after 3 years, we will use present value of 1. Meron kayo sa calculator niyan. Pagka wala, pwedeng ganito na lang ang gawin nyo. Present value of 1, idagdag mo lang yung effective rate. 10%. So, ang initial mo, 1.1. Which means present value of 1 at 10%. Press mo yung division sign, 2 beses. Tapos yung equal sign, 3 beses. Bakit 3 beses? Kasi 3 taon. From January of 2022 up to January of 2025, 3 taon. Okay? So, 1, 2, oops. 3. That will take you to the present value of 1 factor, which is 0.1. Pakicheck nyo nga po. Ito po ba ang nakuha nyo? 75131.
Yes po, sir.
Yes. Okay. 600 by 0.75131 is how much?
$150,786.
450, 700?
Opo, 86 po.
80.
86 po.
86.
Opo.
Okay. So that is the initial value of your notes. After that, amortized cost tayo. So yung amortized cost, pagka po non-interest bearing and lump sum, bali ganito lang po yan. Initial presentation, 450, 780. Rounded siguro to. Ayan. After that, amortize natin. Yung amortization actually is the discount amortization here. Carrying amount by effective rate. 10% of this is the amortization. 10% of 450, 78, so that is 45,078. Again, we amortize to bring the carrying amount to face amount on maturity date. So this one will be addition to the carrying amount. Following year, ganun pa uli. No? 10% of this is your interest. So, 49,586. Again, the amortization will be entry natin to record the sale. So, una po, you debit notes receivable. Notes receivable at face amount. The face amount is 600. Ayan. Okay. There will be discount on notes payable, notes receivable. Yung discount po natin is the difference between the face and the present value. Pagkano ito? 450. So, 149, 220 ba? Pakicheck nga po. 600 minus 450, 780. Is that the discount?
Yes po.
Yes. Okay. They recognize the notes. So, they recognize the equipment that you dispose. Carrying amount of the equipment is 480. So, you credit equipment 480. Ayan po. Siyempre, kung nagbenta tayo, there must be gain or loss. What is gain or loss? That is selling price minus the carrying amount of the asset. Ang tinanggap ko notes instead of receiving cash on the sale. So whatever you receive, that will be your basis for the selling price. The present value of the note represents the selling price. So present value of the notes is 450, 780. Okay. Carrying amount of the asset sold is 480. So in that case, lugi tayo. Magkano yung loss? There must be loss of 29 to 20. So yung loss natin to be recognized must be 29 to 20. So that is our entry to record the sale. So interest income in 2022 the amortization represents the interest income. This is your entry for the amortization of the discount. Debit discount, 45,078. And credit interest income, 45,078. Okay? So the interest income for 2022 must be this. Gain or loss on sale. That's the difference between selling price and the carrying amount of the asset. The selling price represents the present value of the notes that you receive. For 5780, carrying amount of the asset sold is 480. Therefore, there is loss of 29 to 20. That is the loss on the sale. Carrying value of the notes by December 31st, 2022. The carrying value afterwards represents the amortized cost. Amortized cost is 495,858. So the carrying value to be presented is 495,858. So that is notes receivable, long-term, non-interest bearing. Initial presentation, present value, after that, amortized cost. And interest is simply this. While gain or loss is the present value of the notes that represents the selling versus the carrying amount of the asset disposed. Okay? So that is long-term, non-interest bearing, payable lump sum. Okay? Now, let's see the other one. Pampanga, continue please.
Monica Mangloban po.
Monica?
On December 31, 2022, Lecture Company sold for 3 million and all equipment have an original cost of 5,400,000 and carrying amount of 2,400,000. The term of the sale were 600 down payment and the 1,200,000 payable each year on December 31 of the next 2 years. The sale agreement made no mention of interest. However, 9% will be a fair rate for this type of transaction. The present value of an original annuity of 1 at 9% for 2 years is 1.76.
Okay. So, ano po ang nangyari? Nagbenta tayo ng December 31st, 2022. 3 million for selling our equipment. We received down payment of 600. Tapos yung natitirang 2,4, hulugan pa. 1,2 payable each year. There is no mention of interest. So yung notes natin, dahil 2 taon ang bayaran, long term, non-interest bearing. Kanina 1 beses lang ang bayad after 3 years. Ngayon po, ang bayad po 2 beses, installment. So pagka long term, non-interest bearing, initial presentation is present value. That is present value of principal and interest collection. Again, wala pong interest. E de, principal lang. Magkano bang makolekta mo? Sa principal, 1, 2 every year. Pagka pare-pareho ang koleksyon, every year, you use annuity factor. So that would be installment receivable or installment payment multiplied by annuity factor at effective rate of 9%. Okay? 9% for 2 years is 176. So in other words, the present value for the notes, ito po, will be the installment payment of 1,2. You multiply that by the annuity factor which is given already. Annuity factor is 176. Can you please compute?
$2,100,000 12,000 pa.
2,112,000 is the initial value for the notes. Okay? So, ang nangyari, binenta ko, tumanggap ako ng down payment na 600,000, tapos tumanggap po ako ng notes with present value of 2,112,000. So, selling price must be 2,712. Carrying amount of the equipment is 2,400,000. So in other words, kung ganun ang nangyari, meron tayong gain. The gain must be 312. Okay? So again, pagka notes receivable, long term, dahil yung term 2 taon, non-interest bearing, there is no mention of interest, initial presentation is present value. Present value is this. After that, amortized cost. Ito naman po si amortized cost. Initial value, ito, the present value. Taon-taon, babayad ng 1,200,000. So yung first year, 1,200,000 of the payment, interest is 9% of this. Can you get me the interest part? 9% of 2,112.
190,080 po.
190,000.
80.
080. Ganon?
Opo.
Okay. So of the payment of 190, 1,200,000, 190 goes to interest. The rest goes to the principal. Dahil po hulugan, at the end of 2 years, dapat wala na pong balanse ito. Dito makikita nyo, malaki po yung magiging diferensya kasi 2 decimal places lang tayo. Dapat at least 4 or 5. Ano? Tingnan nyo, magbabayad dito uli ng 1,200,000. Interest is 9% of this. How much is 9%? Pagkano po? 9% of 1,102,080?
99 po.
99?
187 po.
99,187? Ganon?
Yes,
Tama ba? So kung 99,187 going to principal is this, nakita nyo, bayad na, meron pang balanse. Bakit? Doon sa factor yon, dapat 0 na ito in the last payment. So mag-a-adjust kayo dito. Okay? So yung interest po, babawasan nyo ng 1,267. Oo. Bakit malaki yung diferensya? Because of the decimal places used for present valuation. Okay? So question is, carrying amount of the notes receivable by December 31st, 2023. So ito, initial, present value, after that, amortized cost. By December 31st, 2023, the amortized cost is this. So that should be the carrying amount of my receivable. 1,102,080, which is this one. Okay? Now, kung gagawa natin lang entrada yan, ganito po ang ating magiging entrada. Debit cash for the down payment of 600,000. Ang 2,400,000. The difference between the face and the present value is the discount. Can you get me the discount? 24 minus 2,112. How much is the discount on the notes?
208.
Gano?
288, sir.
1,
288 po, sir.
208. Tatlo.
88.
208.
288 po. 288,000 po, sir.
The equipment costs you 540, 5.4, tapos 2.4 ang carrying amount. Carrying amount is cost minus accumulated. So therefore, the accumulated here must be 3 million, ano? So de-recognize natin yung equipment, 5.4. De-recognize the related accumulated of 3 million. So dun sa selling, meron tayong gain of 312. So the gain of 312 will be credited. Ayan. So this is our entry to record the sale of this equipment. Okay? So ano pong nakita nyo? Kapag ka pala long term at non-interest bearing, initially present value. Present value of principal and interest collection. Principal lang ang makukuha, installment pa. So installment payment by the annuity factor, that is the present value, which is the initial value. After that, amortized cost tayo. And this is your amortized cost. Okay? Sige. Now, I want you to do okay, number 17. Makikigawa raw po muna ako ng number 17. Okay, Pampanga, pakibasa daw, please.
Yejin Andong po.
Okay. Absent ata yung tinawag mo. Pakilista lang and give it to your head.
Naglalag lang daw po. Ayan na po siya, sir.
Hello po. Sir, naririnig na po ba?
Yes, Iya.
At the beginning of the accounting period, January 1, 2022, Mrs. Saugcup Company reported the following balances. Note receivable from an officer, 1,950,000. Note receivable from sale of building, 7,125,000. The 7,125,000 note receivable is dated April 1, 2021. Bears interest at 10%. Principal payments of 2,000,000 pesos plus interest are due annually beginning April 1, 2022. The 1,950,000 pesos note receivable is dated December 31, 2016, bears interest at 8% and is due on December 31, 2022. Interest is payable annually on December 31 and all interest payments were made through December 31, 2022. On July 1, 2022, Mrs. Saugcup Company sold a parcel of land to Binay Company for 4,000,000 pesos. Under an installment sale contract, Binay Company made a 1,200,000 peso cash down payment on July 1, 2022 and signed a 4-year 10% for
2,800,000.
note for the 2,800,000 pesos balance. The equal annual payment of principal and interest on the note totaled 878,000 pesos payable on July 1 at each year from 2023 through 2026.
Okay, so question is, the note receivable, including accrued interest. Accrued interest is earned but not yet collected. Ano? Classified as current asset. And also the non-current asset. So again, isa-isahin po natin. The first one is notes receivable from officer. 1,950. So initially, tinanggap natin ng 2016. Ang due date, 23. The long term. Kaya lang may interest. So, interest bearing. Walang binanggit about the effective rate, so we assume that effective rate is the same. Pagka long term, non-interest bearing, we present that at face amount. Bayad naman daw lahat ng interest. Okay? Although, mapapansin nyo, collectible na to next year. Anong sabi natin? Kapag ka daw po, ang FS is 2022, lahat ng makukolekta natin next year, whether January or December, that is current already. So as of December 31st, 2022, this will now be classified as current receivable, which is part of the current asset. Okay? Bayad daw yung interest, so wala pong interest na magaganap. So again, long term, kasi po, tinanggap natin noong 2016, interest bearing. Kaya initial presentation is face amount, subsequent face amount. Since the due date is next year, this now becomes a current receivable. So, ilalagay po natin dun sa current receivable ito. Ano? So, balikan dito po yan. So, yung first one natin, notes receivable from officer, 1,950. Yung pong tanong dito, current receivable including accrued interest. Dahil po yung bayad lahat ng interest, wala siyang accrued interest. Notes receivable from sale of building, 7,125. Dated April 21, interest bearing. So again, pag interest bearing at walang effective rate, we assume they are the same. So we also present this at face amount. Tapos, classify lang natin whether current or non-current. Hulugan pala to. Principal payment of 2 million plus interest are due every April 1. So, bali ganitong nangyari. Tinanggap mo yung notes noong April 21 for 7,125. 7,125. Taon-taon may hulog na 2 million. Ang unang bayad, eto, April 1, 2022. 2 million. So after the first payment, second payment, ito na po yung balanse. So the FS date is December 31st, 2022. As of that date, isang hulog pa lang ang nakakalipas. So the balance to my notes is this. Sabi natin, ang presentation niyan, face amount. Classify mo lang yung current and non-current. Yung makukolekta sa principal next year is your current receivable. Beyond that, that will be the non-current. So current portion must be 2 million and the non-current portion is 3,125,000. So kung mapapansin natin, nagbayad lang po ng principal and interest payment noong April 1, 2022. Part of the question is accrued interest. Interest earned as of December 31st but not yet collected. So merong nag-accrue na interest from April until December. Remaining principal as of April is this. So 5,125 by 10%, April to December is 9 months. So magkano po yung accrued interest? Compute, everybody.
$384,375.
384,375.
375.
So that is the accrued interest from April to December. And the last note is this one. The note that we received on July 1st, 2022, this is a 4-year note. And the long term na naman. Kaya lang meron na namang stated rate, 8%. Tapos ginawa na ng amortization. Equal payment to principal and interest totaled 878. Payable every July. So, bali ganito. Long term, dahil 4 years, interest bearing, walang binanggit na effective rate. Kaya po yung effective rate natin, we assume that that is the same. So, initial presentation, face amount. After that, face amount pa rin. Kaklasify lang natin kung current or non-current. Anything collectible next year related to principal is the current portion. Beyond that, that would be the non-current portion. Okay? So, bali ganito po yan. Initial face amount. Face of the note is 2.8. Okay? Taon-taon babayad daw ng 878. So, unang bayad yan, July 1 of 2023. Tapos sunod-sunod na hanggang 26. Every April. So, babayad tayo ng 878. Of the 878, interest is 10% of this, which is 280 ba yan? 280. Ayan. So, in that case, of the first payment of 278, 280 is interest, the rest goes to the principal. Now, initial face amount. After that, face amount pa rin. Yung FS date natin, December 31st, 2022. As of that date, ito po yung balance. As of December 31st, 2022, the balance to your notes receivable is 2.8. Yung makukolekta sa principal